I tell stories about myself I really shouldn't tell, but I hired a full-time research librarian because I needed a crutch. I didn't know very much, and this gal was pretty good. And so I never wanted a computer because that would be admit that I was coming into the 20th century, and I never did want to admit that. But we had a Rolodex with 5 by 7 cards on it, and if you bought something from me for $25 or more, if it was a book or something, you went on our Rolodex, your name, your wife's name, your kid's name, what you bought, what you gave for it, where you live, and that sort of thing. And so over the next few years, well, I had a 3,000 names on my Rolodex. And I meet all these people, but I have a terrible memory. I'm pretty good for faces, but I don't remember names. And so the phone would ring, my secretary would pick up the phone, and she'd say, "Mr. Fenn, this is Joe Smith on the phone." And I'd wave to her with my head like that. And in the meantime, she's taking the card out of the Rolodex. She runs in and hands it to me. I'd pick it up. "Oh, Joe, how's Felix and little Mary and Johnny?" I said, "You still have that old beat-up sharp painting you paid too much for me when you bought it from me?" I said, "Send it back, I'll refund." And you know, that repartee back and forth was a lot of fun for me. And I didn't remember the guy, but after we talked for a while, then I'd probably remember him. And it was so much fun. But he thought that I remembered him, and that's called salesmanship. That's not illegal, particularly. But I enjoyed the business of art, and I particularly enjoyed the people. The people were wonderful, and I would take anybody's check for any amount of money. And everybody told me I was crazy. You cannot do that. This guy bought a $275,000 painting from me. I didn't know the guy. He had never been in my gallery before. But he said, "How can I pay you for this painting?" I said, "I'll take your check." He said, "You'll take my check?" I said, "Yeah, I'll take your check." He couldn't believe it. He said, "In New York, they won't take my traveler's checks." But he started to pull out his wallet for his ID, and I said, "I don't want your ID." I said, "I think your check is good." I was never sorry. There was one time a guy wrote, I got several bad checks, but they were all mistakes. Nobody was trying to cheat me except this one guy. He wrote me a bad check for $600. And I knew the guy by reputation because he had done the same thing around town. So the check bounced. I didn't say anything to him at all. I didn't write him a letter. I didn't call him on the phone. But 6 weeks later, he didn't pay me, and I sued him without a conversation with him. He couldn't believe that I'd sue him for $600 because it's going to cost me $5,000 to sue him. So he was calling my wife at night, trying to talk her into have me drop the lawsuit, and this went back and forth. I sued him for the $600, $2,500 punitive damages, interest on the note, and attorney's fees. And we argued back and forth for a little while, and I finally settled for $1,000. But I said, "Come back in my gallery, buy something else. I'll take your check for $100,000. I said, "But next time it's $500,000 punitive damages." And I think I taught him a lesson. But you want to go along with people. But you don't want people stepping on you all the time.